Hey y'all, and welcome to Monter's Market, and welcome to the Twine It Up challenge. This challenge is hosted every month by Creations by Favi. This month's co-host is that crafty DIY guy. Now, DIY number one is a cross that I saw at the Hobby Lobby the other day for $14.99, and I knew full good and well I could do better than that. So I got me a cross from the Dollar Tree, took some white Waverly chalk paint, heavily dry brushed it on both sides, and grabbed my twine. Now, when I took my twine, I sort of wrapped it around it several times just to get a feel and an idea of how much twine I was going to need. And once I kind of figured it out, then I cut it off. After I cut it off, I took a piece of tape and added to the end of it. If you are stringing anything on a piece of twine or any other kind of rope, do yourself a favor, save yourself a headache, and add that little piece of tape. Or sometimes you can use hot glue, just as long as you firm up that tip end. If not, you're going to end up pulling your hair out by the time you get done. It just sort of keeps it all together and allows whatever you're stringing to go on so much smoother. So anyway, in a very random pattern, I added my twine, and as I wrapped, I would add a bead in just random spots, just like the original was. Now, I know mine is not going to look identical to the original. That was not my goal, but I thought it was really cute, and I knew I could do better than $15, like I said. With the twine and the beads and the paint, you might say I have $2 full in this, and that's how it turned out. So after I got to that point, I took a few more beads and added them to some more twine and just made myself a little hanger. And once I made the hanger, I remembered that I forgot to distress it with my truffle. Now, if you've ever seen my videos before, you know I love to distress literally everything. So I went back in with my Waverly chalk paint and the color truffle and added just a little bit of distressing around the edges and to the front of it where it wasn't like on top of the twine or the pearls. And once I did that, then I was finished. So make sure you leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about my $2 version versus their $15 version. Here's mine, and here's a side-by-side. Let me know what you think down in the comments. All right, so for DIY number two, I have this cute little wreath that I made very inexpensively with this wreath that you can get from the Dollar Tree and this rope twine right here that you can also get from the Dollar Tree. Now, you know they have it in the white and the darker color, and I just went with the white just because of the flowers that I'm going to be using to accent this wreath that I'm doing right here. So it took 2 rolls of the rope, and I literally just glued it about every 3 or 4 or 5 rolls. You know, as I wrapped it around, I would put a little dot of glue, wrap it a few more times, another dot of glue. And I did that just in case I decided to go back and change it, and then it wasn't just like eat up with glue and I wasn't going to be able to get it off. Now, once I got it, the rope glued on, there was a little bit left, but that's okay because I took this eucalyptus garland that I got from the Dollar Tree. Now, I find this all the time at the Walmart, but this particular one, I found 2 of them at a Dollar Tree down in Orlando, and I grabbed them both because I knew I had just bought some at Walmart for, I don't know, $2 or $3. It's not too expensive, but hey, when you can get it at the Dollar Tree for cheaper, why not? So I took one of those garlands and I wrapped it around to cover up that little spot right there and to give my little base for my flowers. Once I got that eucalyptus garland wrapped around it, I took these gorgeous dahlias that you get from the Dollar Tree, and I love this color. This is one of my favorite colors, and I went ahead and clipped them off of my little branch and added it to my wreath. Once I got those placed where I wanted them, I took this astilbe and added it. Now, I said that like I knew what I was talking about. You know why? Because I had to look it up. I could not figure out how to pronounce that to save my life. So I Googled it and did the little thing where they pronounce it for you, and it's pronounced astilbe. So I took these cream-colored astilbes and added them in there, and to me, it was the perfect touch for this wreath. It went perfect with that nautical rope twine that I used, and it also goes perfectly with the beads that I'm going to use to make my hanger. So in order to make the hanger for my wreath, I just took my twine and went ahead, like I said a minute ago, and added a piece of tape to the end of it. Once I got my tape added, then I just beaded enough beads on there until I had enough on there to make my little hanger. I got it tied on there, and that was it, y'all. That's all it took to make this adorable little wreath. And I literally had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe $7 in the whole thing. And I would have paid $20, $25 for it all day long in the store. So, again, let me know what you think down in the comments about how my wreath turned out. All right, so for DIY number 3, my last one, I have this cute little riser that I made with some adorable twine that I got from the Dollar Tree a few months ago when all of their nautical stuff come out. Now, I took one of these little cake plates that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I took my ocean colored paint from Waverly. I gave it a coat on the bottom, a coat on the top, and that's all it needed. Because of it being a clear plate, it was almost like giving it 2 coats. So once I got that done, I took my little candle holder that you can get at the Dollar Tree, and I started wrapping my twine around it. Now, I will have everything listed below that is in this video. There is also a playlist that is going to be listed below, so make sure you go down to that playlist and follow it and watch everybody and see what we've all made for you today in this Twine It Up challenge. Thank you, Favi, for letting me be a part of this today. I loved doing this video, and I hope you liked what I created for you today. So once I got all of my twine wrapped around my candlestick, it was as easy as taking hot glue and just gluing it to my plate. Now be careful whenever you're pushing that down, if you're pushing from the top on that plate, because when I went to flip it over, that sucker was hot as a firecracker. Then I took my white Waverly chalk paint and I just really heavily distressed it down. Now, I did not show you me going back and painting back over it blue and distressing it again, because I did a hack job on this one right here, but I did go back and fixed this old ugly mess that I made right here. And you'll see that in just a second when I reveal it to you. So thank you for watching today. If you're not already subscribed, consider subscribing and becoming a part of Monner's Market family. Oh, that's right. Now, I did take my little, what is that thing called, y'all? A lighter. That's what it's called. Took my lighter and burned off all those little sprigglies on there and just gave it a good clean finish. And that was it. That was all there was to making this cute little tray or riser, whatever you want to call it. And I was done. So leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about the way this turned out. Again, thank you for coming to Monner's Market. My name is Brenda, but my grandkids call me Monner, and that's where the name come from. Y'all have a blessed day. Thanks for coming. Bye now.